Tonight on Cronkite News, we take a closer look at the wildfire that's burned thousands of acres in North Scottsdale.
Plus, find out what new player has joined the Phoenix Suns.
And later, how do you stay cool when you're wearing a fur coat? The Phoenix Zoo has some ideas.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Adrian Carbajal.
And I'm Alexis Davis. Thank you for joining us. Governor Katie Hobbs signed a pair of executive orders this week dealing with state policy on LGBTQ+ issues.
The orders reverse one ban and put in place another. Shelley Garzone has the details from our Washington bureau.
To Gene Woodbury, Governor Katie Hobbs' recent executive orders strengthening protections for the LGBTQ+ community in Arizona are a step in the right direction.
These executive orders represent a huge step forward for Arizona, but it's just the start. There's so much more that we can do to protect our community.
Kathy Herod couldn't disagree more.
Arizona Governor Hobbs continues to attempt to enact an extreme left agenda that denies parents the ability to oversee the education, the healthcare, the upbringing of their children, that forces taxpayers to pay for services that taxpayers have moral and other concerns about.
Hobbs signed two orders Tuesday. The first reverses a previous policy that excluded gender-affirming care from health insurance policies for state workers.
By removing that exclusion and making sure that the state healthcare plan does cover gender-affirming surgeries, it's life-changing for people who were seeking that care and weren't able to get access to it before.
The second calls on state agencies to create policies that protect younger members of the LGBTQ+ community from effects of so-called conversion therapy, programs that aim to change sexual orientation or gender identity. The order also prohibits the use of state or federal funds for the practice. Woodbury says many families are not fully aware of what conversion therapy is and mistakenly send their kids in hopes it will help them. Herod says the state should not be denying people the ability to seek the treatment they want. She calls both the executive orders a power grab on the governor's behalf. In Washington, Shelley Garzone, Cronkite News.
The two orders came just days after an executive order dealing with abortion.
The governor ordered that only the Attorney General will be able to bring charges in abortion cases, taking the decision out of local prosecutors' hands. You may have seen and smelled the smoke from a brush fire burning in North Scottsdale.
More than 230 firefighters were called to the scene of the Diamond Fire burning near 130th and Ranch Gate Road.
Over 1,000 residents were under evacuation orders from the fire, which started around 5 o'clock last night. There was no immediate known cause for the fire, but it has burned more than 2,500 acres. As of late Wednesday afternoon, no homes have been burned and no injuries have been reported.
That fire is being fanned by the hot, windy weather conditions here in the valley.
Yeah, which have caused the National Weather Service to issue an alert. Alyssa Polzinski explains.
A red flag warning has been initiated in the state of Arizona and will remain throughout the rest of the evening. This is due to the extremely high and dry temperatures and the wind gusts up to 20+ miles per hour in some areas. Wildfires have been very prevalent throughout the state as well, North Scottsdale being the most affected. So if you are located in any of these cities in the pink, please be cautious and stay safe. We can expect these high temperatures, however, they will start to feel a little bit cooler as the week progresses, but I will have more during the full forecast.
Pavement, car doors, playground equipment, they're all harmless most of the time, but they can get blistering hot, literally, in Arizona's summer heat.
And as our Isabel Garcia reports from our Washington bureau, doctors are warning people to be vigilant during the summer months.
In the Valley of the Sun, experts warn everyone needs to be mindful when stepping outside because the Arizona sun is not forgiving. In direct sunlight, pavement can reach 180 degrees, just below boiling. A couple seconds of contact can result in a second-degree burn. A minute can cause a third-degree burn. Dr. Kevin Foster from the Arizona Burn Center says those most at risk include people experiencing homelessness, out-of-town visitors, and elderly people.
Sometimes it's medication related, and sometimes it's just simply they're more sensitive to the heat and they just don't tolerate it very well. But yeah, that's the problem. They go down and then they can't get back up again.
Young children are also vulnerable.
And unfortunately, we see a lot of kids who get burned from propane and gas grills, primarily from touching hot surfaces. So it's very similar to the hot pavement burns.
The Arizona Burn Center admitted 85 people with heat-related burns last summer. 7 died from their injuries. Foster said the center has already seen 15 to 20 cases this summer. With the summer holidays coming up, Dr. Foster had a specific warning for those who want to grill out.
Have kids around. If you're grilling outside with either a propane or a charcoal grill, just don't have kids around because you never know when they're going to walk up and touch something.
There are common sense steps you can take to protect yourself, including with protective clothing, sturdy shoes, and socks. In Washington, Isabel Garcia, Cronkite News.
One newcomer to the area will have to get used to our heat. The Phoenix Suns drafted Toumani Camara in the second round of the 2023 NBA draft, and he was officially introduced to the Valley yesterday. Coming out of Dayton, Camara averaged 13.9 points per game during his final season. The forward also earned first-team All-Atlantic 10 and All-Defensive Team honors. Camara is excited about contributing to the Suns' winning culture, but the rookie is even more pumped about playing alongside the likes of Kevin Durant and Devin Booker.
I think it still doesn't hit me yet. I have never met those guys, so being able to play alongside of them, great talents like that, I feel like it can help me just so much with my game and be able to compete against them every day. Being able to be in the gym and be able to analyze those guys and be able to really like pick their games and everything. So yeah, it's just exciting. I think my game is about to flourish, just being able to be around those guys for sure.
The Mercury are getting used to a new dynamic as they played their first game with their new head coach on Tuesday. It hasn't been a fun couple of weeks for Mercury fans. The team lost their 6th straight game last night against the Dallas Wings, and it was Nikki Blue's first loss as interim head coach. The final score was 77-62. The Mercury host the Indiana Fever Thursday at 7 p.m.
From New York to France to Arizona, one incoming freshman is ready to make a splash for the Sun Devil swim team. Cronkite reporter Erin Patterson tells us how this swimmer's journey has led her to where she is now.
When Alexa Reyna began swimming, she had no idea where the sport would take her. But after 7 years of putting on the cap and goggles, things started to become clear.
When I was 14, I made my first Olympic trials cut in the mile. And at the time, I was serious about swimming, but I didn't do it too often. So to know that I can do that with, I guess, not having my head really fully into the game really made me have confidence in my future in swimming.
Right after making the cut, COVID hit, which left a lot of time for Reyna to think. Despite feeling more confident, she was struggling with her club team, and her mental state was suffering.
I wanted to quit swimming. I was going to, because my mental health was really bad. Like, I hated swimming. I didn't want to go to practice anytime.
However, after 3 months off and switching club teams, Reyna decided to recommit to swimming. It was the support from family, friends, and coaches that helped her back into the water.
I think the communication with my coaches was what they really did to make me feel happy and enjoy the sport again, especially with Coach Gill. She's amazing. She's like a mom to us.
Patricia Gill Martin, better known as Coach Gill, was Reyna's high school swim coach.
Oh, I'm so proud of her. It's so nice. And she deserves all the accolades. It's not an easy task what she's been able to accomplish. So I'm so proud that she was able to do that and she's been so successful.
Reyna eventually chose not to swim in the Olympic trials, but instead joined the French national team as Messi.
I really wanted to represent my French side of the family.
About a year later in 2022, Reyna committed to swim for Arizona State. After visiting a couple schools, she knew ASU was where she needed to be to take her to the next level and begin a new chapter in her life.
But with the swim team, it's like I've known them all my lives. Like, I just clicked with them right away. And now I understood when people say, when you know what school you want to go to. So yeah, I just had that feeling that I was home.
She's very focused on her process and what it's going to take to get to her goals. So when you come around other people who are similar, you're going to feel comfortable quickly.
Reyna chose to graduate a year early from White Plains High School.
Her goal coming into the season is to try and qualify for the Paris 2024 Olympics. And come August, she'll be in Tempe to start her college career. In Tempe, Erin Patterson, Cronkite News.
Coming up next, we hear from two sons of a former ASU basketball star. The twin brothers from Desert Mountain High School are only adding to their name's legacy.
And find out what football team is aiming for first place.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to see
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
General Manager of Arizona PBS. We've got so much going on here at the station.
I'm Catherine Anaya.
I'm Alberto Rios.
I'm Chef Mark Tarbell.
I'm Ted Simons.
We want everyone to know that their Arizona connection starts right here at Arizona PBS.
For over the past 60 years, Arizona PBS has told incredible stories of Arizona's distinctive people.
We got to start being more vulnerable with each other.
What I love most about being a Latina woman is the passion and drive that I feel.
Beautiful landscapes and treasured history.
We're doing something that benefits the community.
Good evening and welcome to Horizonte.
Welcome to Check Please, Arizona.
Welcome to the U.S. Senate debate.
The recipient of the Emmy is
Arizona PBS.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Adrian, it's time to hit the rewind button in sports from last week.
That's right. Crystal Stone joins us now with two of the biggest stories sports fans are still talking about.
Yes, Adrian, folks are still buzzing about last weekend's Section 7 tournament out in Glendale. And Desert Mountain twin sensations Caden and Kayla House are fielding a lot of calls after putting on a show in front of hundreds of college coaches. They say every good tree bears good fruit, and these rising stars are coming from a family tree that's pretty sweet.
I want to play at the next level like my brother and my dad did and my cousins and my uncle did, so it means a lot to get this exposure and really show how much I've been working.
As freshmen, Caden and Kayla House averaged over 40 points and 14 rebounds per game combined, leading Desert Mountain to its best season in school history and reaching the state semifinals. Their father, Eddie House, knows a thing or two about winning titles. The former ASU standout and NBA champion says playing among the nation's best at Section 7 will only make his sons better.
When you get out here and you play, you see the skill sets is different, the height is different, how you're going to have to attack offensively and defensively is different. So I think it's a great opportunity.
And if one legend in the family isn't enough, the House twins also have their uncle to turn to, Arizona Wildcat national champion and NBA star Mike Bibby. He says more people are noticing great basketball coming out of the state of Arizona.
Back when I was playing, they didn't really give Arizona much credit, so I'm glad they're getting the credit that they deserve now.
Bibby's son, Mike Bibby Jr., played at Appalachian State and is the assistant coach for the Wolves. Kalik says having his family there to coach him means everything.
They can get to me a way another person can't get to me.
And they provide the best roadmap to hopefully carry on the family legacy.
It don't mean a lot, but I'm trying to create my own footsteps.
And it's his father's goal to make sure they're going in the right direction.
People come up to me and say, oh man, your kids are great young men. That means more to me than what they do on the basketball court. I'm just here to support and try to help them be the best versions of themselves on and off the court.
The House twins will be entering their sophomore year and have already received their first offer from Washington State, with undoubtedly more to come. Another highlight from last weekend, the Arizona Rattlers did what they needed to do to clinch another run to the postseason. The Rattlers beat the San Diego Strike Force, knowing that they needed to win officially win to secure a playoff spot and keep their first place hopes alive. The offense was led by quarterback Drew Powell, who threw for over 200 yards and 6 touchdowns. The team keeps their lengthy playoff streak alive.
You know, I thought overall it was a great team win, 14 years in a row that we've made the playoffs. It's got to be some kind of record, I would think. But, you know, I felt like we got to get better in some areas in special teams. We gave up an onside kick.
The Rattlers have 2 games left in the regular season and will have to win out to maintain first place in the Western standings. They face a very evenly matched Massachusetts Pirates team this Sunday. And that's it for this Sports Rewind.
Coming up next, we hear from the Phoenix Zoo on animal safety.
With the heat on the rise, it's not just the visitors at the zoo that need to be safe. And speaking of keeping cool, it's about to get really, really hot around the valley. What we can expect for the holiday weekend? Next.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
This is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
General Manager of Arizona PBS. We've got so much going on here at the station.
I'm Catherine Anaya.
I'm Alberto Rios.
I'm Chef Mark Tarbell.
I'm Ted Simons.
We want everyone to know that their Arizona connection starts right here at Arizona PBS.
For over the past 60 years, Arizona PBS has told incredible stories of Arizona's distinctive people.
We got to start being more vulnerable with each other.
What I love most about being a Latina woman is the passion and drive that I feel.
Beautiful landscapes and treasured history.
We're doing something that benefits the community.
Good evening and welcome to Horizonte.
Welcome to Check Please, Arizona.
Welcome to the U.S. Senate debate.
The recipient of the Emmy is
Arizona PBS.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
With the summer heat now blazing throughout the valley, the Phoenix Zoo is doing their part in keeping their animals cool.
And I got a look at just how they do it. When it's 110 degrees and you have thick skin, how do you stay cool? Trudy the rhino gets a morning shower in fresh fruits and vegetables.
It's hot in Phoenix. The zoo knows that it's hot. We plan for it all year long.
Planning is one thing, but with all of the different animals comes different ways to keep them cool. Otters have their pool, coupled with a fishy ice treat. Cheetahs and tigers are fed bloodsickles, which are usually frozen horse blood, and they also have a pool to swim in. And for birds, they're showered down, starting with their natural cooling system, their feet. With over 3,000 animals to care for means months of strategic planning for the summer season. And the Phoenix Zoo does a great job of keeping all of its animals cool, just like my good buddy Archie here. Right, Archie? Looks pretty cool to me.
We want people to know that these animals are comfortable where they are. If we see signs of heat stress, we give them access to the building so they can absolutely cool down and then come back out as they feel comfortable.
Most of the animals have their own biological ways of cooling down. For Indu, her body funnels blood to her ears, which then flap around to help her cool down. For orangutans, they will carry a leaf on their back or stay hidden in the shade.
I know we're taking excellent care of them, but I want other people to see that too so that they feel comfortable and want to come see these animals as well.
With the summer just beginning and temperatures rising even more by the day, guests at the Phoenix Zoo are sure to see some more ice treats and pool days. In Phoenix, Adrian Carbajal, Cronkite News.
For those animals and us humans, we'll really need a way to cool off this weekend because it's about to get really, really hot. Alyssa Paulzinski has more on what we can expect.
Good evening, everyone. It has been a toasty one here in the valley. Currently, we stand at 102 degrees with a slow decline into the low 90s by 10 p.m. tonight. Looking at our future forecast, we do see a little bit of coverage down in the southeast portion of the state near Sierra Vista and Wilcox, but that will dissipate by the early mornings of Thursday, but come back in the early afternoon. Then, as we push into the evening, that will continue to disappear. Taking a look at our low temperatures, 77 in Phoenix, 78 in Lake Havasu, but let's take a look up north. Flagstaff and Grand Canyon are in the low 40s, so if you're looking to beat that heat, just go north. Here are our high temperatures, 107 in Phoenix, 104 in Quartzsite, and again, low temperatures remain in Flagstaff and the Grand Canyon with low 80-degree weather. Here's our 8-day forecast, sunshine throughout the week, as well as the high 100 triple-digit temperatures with a low of high 70s and 80s. Taking a look at the rest of the week, Sunday, 116 degrees, the perfect day to stay indoors eating a big bowl of ice cream. Tuesday, of course, is 4th of July, 112 degrees. So if you do plan on celebrating and being outside, make sure you are staying hydrated and wearing sun protection. From the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Alyssa Paulzinski.
If you're expecting someone from back east, be sure to check if they're delayed before heading to the airport.
That's because severe weather has caused thousands of flight cancellations over the last few days. In fact, thousands of people were stranded at the Newark airport because of the cancellations. Some folks even had to sleep on cots while they waited to try and rebook a flight. Adding to all the chaos, the upcoming July 4th holiday.
Meanwhile, folks in Pittsburgh are dealing with a nasty haze that's settled over the city. It's actually smoke coming down from several wildfires burning in Canada. The air is so bad in Pittsburgh, officials issued a code red alert, urging the young, the elderly, and those with respiratory problems to stay inside. Well, coming up next, officers in Glendale were called out to rescue a dog trapped in a canal.
And it wasn't easy because the dog wouldn't come close enough to the officers to grab him. But then one of the officers remembered his wife had packed something for breakfast that day that the dog couldn't resist. See the adorable rescue next.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue,
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
Welcome to the State Press, ASU's student-run news organization that covers everything ASU. As one of the longest-standing student-run newsrooms in the country, the State Press offers a glimpse into a real newsroom environment. The State Press has been cited by organizations such as CNN, The Washington Post, MSNBC, and many more. Students gain valuable experience in reporting, editing, photography, and even podcasting. The State Press is home to some of ASU's hardest-working and most dedicated students, so feel free to join.
This is CN to Go. I'm Emily Olson with your Wednesday news briefing.
Do you want to create innovative content for Cronkite News? Do you enjoy listening to podcasts? Then CN to Go is for you. Cronkite News to Go is a podcast where students cover the latest headlines. Students become audio producers and hosts and will learn how to write, record, and edit stories. You can listen to the latest episodes on these platforms.
Welcome. How utterly charming. Are you ready to get it going? How does an English fan come to be Italian Riviera?
A fresh start.
Can I trust you? Are you ready for the show? You can't be afraid to show them what you've got or what you want.
Are we having a party?
Of course, the more the merrier.
I love this place. It's my home now. Trouble in paradise. I can't do it on my own.
This is revenge.
There are consequences.
Be careful.
Nothing like this. Nothing like this. Oh.
You look like you need rescuing.
Don't we all?
What is it that you want?
I just want to let go.
I choose how I live.
There is the passion that I've been looking for.
One Valley police officer is being hailed a hero after rescuing a German Shepherd trapped in a canal.
And some folks are calling the officer's method of rescuing the dog sheer genius. A neighbor found the poor dog paddling back and forth in a canal in Glendale, so that neighbor called for help. When officers arrived, they repeatedly tried to coax the dog out of the water, but it wasn't working. Then one of the officers remembered he had some fresh pumpkin muffins with him that his wife had packed for breakfast. So the officers grabbed the muffins, and it worked. The dog swam closer, allowing them to grab his collar and get him out of the canal. The dog was then reunited with his owner.
That's it for Cronkite News. Thanks for joining us. And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.